right, everyone, welcome to my speech. The topic today is going to be about using your cell phones while you're driving and how it's harmful. How many of you have cell phones? Okay. Cell phones have become a very important part of technology today. It's come a long way from the big, tall, thick cell phones to the ones with the touchscreen and the internet. So they've been very helpful in communicating with your friends and family members. How many thought cell phones would be harmful? Okay. Well, when cell phones were being invented, no one really thought that they would be so harmful as they are today. How many of you use your cell phones while you're driving? Have you ever thought that it wasn't a distraction to your driving skills? Okay. Today, a major concern with cell phones is texting and driving. A lot of teenagers do it, a lot of adults do it. It's very harmful because it takes your eyes off the road. People are dying every day from texting and driving. They say that it's just as bad as drinking and driving. So my speech is going to be 3 main points about using your cell phones while you're driving and why it's bad. The first is because it's a distraction. The second is because it causes accidents. And the third is because it is as reckless as drunk driving. So using your cell phone, it's not only harmful and can cause injuries, but it also can prolong your commute. 1 in 10 drivers are talking on their cell phone while you're driving. So, if you look over and you see someone talking on their cell phone, it's usually not going to be good. You might want to get behind them or something. Using your cell phone can also lengthen your traveling time by 5 to 10%. The first main point, distraction. Cell phones are a major distraction. They say it's like driving with one eye closed. Your brain can process only half of the visual information coming in, so things like pedestrians or stop signs or something can become unseen. What if you use a hand-free device? A lot of states are now requiring you to get hand-free devices like Bluetooth or something like that. They say hand-free devices are not good because it's the same as holding your cell phone. Studies show other passengers aren't as distracting as talking on your cell phone. This is because if you have a passenger in the car, both of you guys are looking at the traffic. So if someone's braking right in front of you, they can help you and say stop or slow down, and so that's why it's not as bad as talking on the phone. When people direct their attention to sound, their visual capacity decreases, so that's also a part of the distraction. The second point is accidents. Cell phones while you're driving leads to accidents and cause injuries or death. So I'm going to read you some statistics about using your cell phone while you're driving. In 2011, 23% of accidents were caused by cell phone. That's 1.3 million crashes that year. Text messaging makes a crash 23 more times likely to happen. 52% say they have talked on a cell phone while driving. 34% say they have texted while driving. 77% say they can safely text while they're driving. Texting and driving causes drivers to spend 10% of their driving time outside of their own lane. 1 in 5 drivers surf the internet while driving. They can justify it by saying, reading a text message isn't as bad as sending one, or I text when I'm at a stoplight, or I hold my phone up towards the windshield so I could see out the windshield and look at my phone at the same time. Well, those obviously don't work. They're still just as dangerous. So my third point is it's as reckless as drunk driving. Cell phone users are as reckless as drunk drivers because when when you're using your cell phone, it affects your driving skills as much as having a blood alcohol level of 0.8%. So cell phone usage while you're driving has caused as many accidents as drunk driving has. So I think people need to be just as outraged as texting and driving as they are with drunk driving, because it is so dangerous. They also place using your cell phone while you're driving in the same category as drunk driving, and that's pretty scary because it's just an innocent thing like a cell phone. One time I was on TV, watching TV, and there was a story about a girl who was missing, and her mom went to drive and go look for her, and saw her on the side of the road. Her car was totaled. It was in the field, and her daughter was laying there, and she was dead. To find out that it was a text message that she had read that caused the accident. So a lot of things like that are happening every day. They're starting to make organizations for people. People are speaking at schools and talking about texting and driving or using your cell phone while you're driving. So you'll see it a lot nowadays. In conclusion, I will say there are many occasions when I was driving and someone almost swerved into me and you pass them and they're on their cell phone driving. So it happens to everyone on a daily basis. I think there's no conversation worth your life or someone else's life. So the 3 main points of my speech: why cell phones are distracting. It's harmful because it's distracting. They cause accidents, and it's as reckless as drunk driving. With this speech, I hope you understand, and I hope I persuaded you why texting and driving without your cell phone, or why driving without your cell phone is better. And I think you can make your conversation wait, and I think you can wait to send that text message until you're stopped. The sources that I am going to be using, I got all of this information from Time Magazine. One article is called "Distracted Driving, Should Talking and Texting Be Banned?" and that's by Gilbert Cruz. The second is called "Text Messaging Behind the Wheel," and that's by Sarah Lynch. The third is "Driving While Distracted, Statistics to Know," and you can find that on nationwide internet. A book called "Mobile Phones and Driving" by Daniel Sternquist. A book called "The Impact of Cell Phone Classification and Experience on Driver Distraction" by Amy Heath. And lastly, "Cell Phones Prolong Your Commute" by Peta Owens-Liston. So thank you for coming, and I hope you enjoyed my speech.
Give me an A. That's good.